Failure has a strange way of shaping us. Some people treat it like a dead end, others like punishment, and a few, very few, recognize it as a compass. Not because failure feels good, but because it tells the truth. And truth, even when painful, is still the foundation we stand on. I've always believed that failure exposes two things: who you are, and who you pretend to be. Everyone looks strong standing on a mountain. But let that same person stumble, and suddenly you see what they're really made of. And if I'm being honest, most of us don't like what we see. I didn't either. There was a time in my life when I thought ambition alone was enough to win. I had this naive belief that enthusiasm would magically open doors. It didn't. Enthusiasm opened nothing. I pushed too fast, trusted the wrong people, invested in things I didn't fully understand. And when it collapsed, because of course it did, I felt this deep anger. Not at the world, but at myself. Because deep down I knew I had built something that looked strong from the outside but was hollow inside. And here's the uncomfortable truth nobody likes to admit. We rarely fail because the world is unfair, we fail because we weren't as prepared, disciplined, or aware as we thought. It's easier to blame the universe than to face the mirror. I remember one night, after everything fell apart, sitting in a small room with the lights off, staring at my own mistakes like they were ghosts haunting me. I realized something important: failure doesn't destroy you, your refusal to learn from it does. And in that moment I understood why people give up so easily. It's not the effort that scares them, it's accountability. But life has a way of placing the right story in front of you when you need it. My grandfather once told me a story about a man who planted a tree in the wrong soil. It grew fast, tall, proud, and then it broke during the first storm. Everyone told him he was unlucky. But instead of giving up, he replanted another tree, this time learning the soil, the wind, the roots. It grew slower, but it survived every storm afterward. My grandfather looked at me and said, "The first tree teaches you how not to grow. The second teaches you how to stay standing." For years I brushed off that story as simple rural wisdom. But after failing, it suddenly became the most accurate metaphor of my life. The problem with modern motivation is that it lies to you. It says, you can do anything. But the truth is harsher: you can do anything only if you learn from everything. I realized I had been trying to skip the learning part. I wanted shortcuts, fast paths, quick results. And life punished me for it, not maliciously, but logically. Gravity doesn't care if you fall accidentally, it still pulls you down. Over time, I began to see failure not as an enemy, but as a teacher with a very strict personality. It doesn't sugarcoat. It doesn't comfort. It doesn't care about your feelings. But it teaches lessons you never forget. Years later, I also noticed something interesting about people. The ones who truly succeed don't brag about never giving up. They actually fail more than anyone else. The difference is simple: they don't romanticize failure, but they respect it. They treat it like data. Information. Feedback. Like a scientist testing hypotheses, not a victim reacting emotionally. I met a guy once who was fired from 3 jobs in a single year. Most people would sink into self-pity. He didn't. He analyzed every job like a detective reviewing a crime scene. Why did it end? What did he miss? What could he have improved? Within 2 years, he built a small consulting agency helping companies reduce employee turnover, because he understood every reason someone gets fired. His greatest weakness became his greatest advantage. And he told me something I still think about: if I didn't lose those jobs, I'd never have found my work. But the story that changed me most was about a woman I knew, who had once dreamed of becoming an artist. She spent years drawing privately but never shared anything because she feared judgment. When she finally posted her first artwork online, it got almost no attention. Just a few likes. She deleted it immediately and didn't draw for months. One day she confessed to me, "I took silence as proof that I wasn't good enough." But that wasn't true. Silence wasn't judgment. Silence was simply the beginning. She started again, slowly, treating every piece as practice, not proof. Within 5 years, she became a professional illustrator. She once told me, "I didn't succeed because talent saved me. I succeeded because failure didn't stop me." And I realized, she didn't rise after one failure, she rose after dozens. There is something deeply philosophical about rising again. It's not an action, it's a worldview. It means choosing growth over protection, reflection over denial, long-term meaning over short-term comfort, and above all, responsibility over excuses. People who give up don't stop because they are weak, but because they misunderstand the purpose of falling. They think falling means they're not meant to climb. But falling is simply part of climbing. Every mountain demands it. If you want a life lesson, here's mine: your future will be built not on your victories, but on how you behave after defeat. Most people lose once and quit. A few lose once and continue. But the rare ones, the ones who actually reach the life they dream of, are the ones who rise without dramatizing the fall. So here is my judgment, sharp but honest: if you give up after failing, then you weren't chasing a dream, you were chasing attention. Because real dreams survive disappointment. Real goals survive embarrassment. Real desire survives defeat. And here is my personal belief: you don't rise after failure because life rewards you. You rise because you refuse to be the same person who fell. Every failure contains a message, and if you ignore it, you'll repeat the same pain again and again, disguised in different forms. Learn the message, and the cycle ends. Ignore it, and the cycle becomes your life. In the end, rising after failure isn't about courage or confidence. It's about understanding that giving up solves nothing, teaches nothing, heals nothing. It only guarantees one thing: regret. So rise. Not because it's easy, not because it's glamorous, but because the alternative is a lifetime of wondering what your life could have been. Rise, because falling is temporary. Rise, because growth is intentional. Rise, because the story you want to live is still waiting to be written. And rise, above all, because failure is only the chapter, not the ending.